I'm Amy from Cooking with a Full Plate, and I'm here today to talk to you about making healthier snack choices for your kids. One of the most common things I hear from parents, especially with kids between the ages of 1 and maybe 10, where kids are really on the go and you find yourself toting things in your bag all the time, is how can I know if I'm making healthy snack choices for my kids when I'm inherently choosing packaged food? Now, there are lots of ways that you can make these snacks yourself, but what we're really going to hone in on today is reading the labels on some of the packaged foods that you might be selecting between for your kids' snacks so that you can make the healthiest choice for your family. I find this a delicate balance between the things that are high on the healthy scale and the things that your kids will actually eat. So a snack that your kids won't eat isn't going to help them if they're in that hangry phase and you're needing that snack on hand, right? So let's take a look at some of the snacks here I have today, and I'll tell you a little bit about my method for checking the labels so that you can apply this to the snacks that might best apply to your family and the kids in your house. Great, so I know that one of the things my 2-year-old son really loves is crackers. He goes crazy for crackers. And in our house, we have kind of defaulted to Annie's whole wheat bunny crackers as one of the options that really wins for us. And I'll tell you a little bit about why I made that choice. So the cool thing about Annie's whole wheat bunny crackers is that they have that kind of cheesy cracker taste and character, but the first ingredient that you'll find on the box is organic whole wheat flour. Now, these are not ideal, and part of the reason for that is because the next ingredient is organic wheat flour. And I know that this can be tricky, and there are a lot of folks who are under the assumption that if it says wheat, then that means it's the whole grain. But in actuality, the grain is not the whole grain unless it lists whole in the very front of it. So what they're telling you here on this ingredient label is that they start with organic whole wheat flour, and then the next thing they add is a little bit of white flour, probably for a texture benefit. So, like I said, not totally ideal, but something I know my son will love. It will get him out of that upset and hungry mode and help us move on to the next thing. So I always have these on hand. The better alternative in my book would be something like these Mary's Gone crackers. I buy them from Costco in this very large size because we go through them so quickly. My son will eat them in a pinch if they're paired with hummus or cheese, would be his preference, but they don't go over as well in like a car situation. And so I know that it's not going to be a helpful snack in that case. And that's something I would encourage you to think about as well. The reason that I love something like Mary's Gone crackers is because all of the ingredients are whole and it's a really easy to understand ingredient list. So there's things like organic whole grain brown rice. Remember what I told you about whole? Organic whole grain quinoa. And on down the list, you'll see things like flax seeds and sesame seeds, water, sea salt, wheat-free tamari, so it has a little bit of soy, but that's the entirety of the ingredient list. This is the kind of product that I tell people, think about, could you buy these things and make it yourself? And then realize that in a lot of cases, you might not have the time or capacity or skill to actually do that. But that is the good sign of a product that really wins from a nutrition perspective. I find bars super helpful to keep on hand because they're self-contained and they're so easy to eat. So Larabars really win in my book because they have no added sugar. So all of the sugar is coming from dried fruit like dates, and they have a very short ingredient list. So on this blueberry bar, you'll find things like unsweetened blueberries, blueberry juice concentrate, lemon juice concentrate, dates, cashews, and vanilla. And I apologize that I didn't read those in order. So Larabars, big win, lots of flavors, really easy thing to buy and keep on hand. Something like a less preferable alternative would be these organic Clif Kids Z bars. So they're specifically targeted to those parents of kids, and they're totally delicious. And they're kind of like a candy bar. So the reason I say that is because when you flip over these ones and check out the ingredient list, you'll see things like an organic oat blend, which has rolled oats and oat flour, so win on the whole grains there. But then you start to see a sugar in various forms listed next. So you see things like tapioca syrup, cane syrup, there's a fig paste, and then you start getting into white chocolate, which also has cane syrup. I see some soy flour and some soy butter in here. If you're looking for a bar on the go, I would definitely default to something less processed like the Larabar before moving on to something with more sugary sources like the Kids Clif Bar. Another great on-the-go snack, especially for younger kiddos, is something like squeeze packs. So I know that my son loves to eat squeeze packs. He's pretty self-sufficient in enjoying them. And if another kid has a squeeze pack, it's inevitable that he's gonna want one himself. So I do like to keep those on hand. I've recently discovered the joy of fruit smoothie kind of yogurty squeeze packs, and so I just wanted to show you an example with these yogurt squeeze packs of what I'm looking for when I look at the labels. So this one is an Earth's Best organic fruit yogurt smoothie. In these squeeze packs, you'll find things like organic bananas, organic strawberries, organic yogurt, and then a little bit of preservative in the form of calcium citrate, malate, and ascorbic acid. So that's just keeping everything fresh in here. Now, I bring these ones up. These are the Lifeway Organic Probiotic Squeeze Packs because I looked at them one day and I really thought that this was going to be the thing that I bought. They cost about $1.50 each, and they're called ProBugs, and they have this super cute guy on the front. And I thought, like, oh, this would be so great to keep these on hand. There are two downsides to this product, though. The first being that it needs to be refrigerated, and I find that to be much less realistic when we're in an on-the-go, need-a-snack-now situation. The second piece is that in this ingredient list, you'll find organic pasteurized cultured milk, very similar to what we found in the Earth's Best squeeze pack. The next ingredient is organic cane sugar, though. And for me, that gives me pause because sugar sneaks in so many ways into our kids' food. And the whole point of this is to be getting them good probiotics. And that added sugar is just going to counteract the positive effects of adding probiotics into their food. So the fact that this both needs to be refrigerated and that it has added sugar is the reason that I would prefer something more like the Earth's Best organic squeeze pack. And that's a comparison that you can use when you're looking at squeeze packs yourself.